Back. My name is Julie. This is a live stream, and we are in the car. I've got to go and pick Reagan up from volleyball. So y'all get to come with me. I know it's Monday, and so it's supposed to be Menopause Monday. And I am supposed to be wearing pink, but that is not the case, unfortunately. My grandmother did pass away this morning. She passed away this morning. Hi, Rita. Hi, Vicky. We're at a stoplight. I can say hi. Sorry, this angle is absolute shit. There's nothing I can do about it. It's the only thing in the car that I can use. My grandmother passed away at about 7 a.m. today, 7 this morning. And to be honest, it took longer than I had anticipated, and I feel awful for her because she was in so much pain, you know. I myself am in some pretty horrible pain right now. My right hip is killing me. I'm scheduled to see the sports medicine doctor and get another treatment done when we get back from our anniversary road trip. Yeah. So after I pick up Reagan and we get home, I feel it's only appropriate to throw back some whiskey or something. Help with the pain, physically and emotionally. Though I do not condone drowning your pain and emotions, I do think it is permissible and acceptable to do that on the first day, maybe on the day of the funeral, stuff like that. We're adjusting our trip so that we'll be back in time for the funeral service. And then the next day is my niece's wedding. It's going to be a roller coaster. I was really unsure if I was going to do today's live stream. God, nobody knows how to use roundabouts. I don't know why we have them. I was not sure if I was going to do this live stream today. It's been rough. It's been a rough day. Rough, but productive. That's probably why my hip hurts so much. I've been busy all day. Doing chores and working and cleaning and laundry and more laundry and unfinished projects, stuff like that, because it helped. Because I knew I had the stuff I had to do today and didn't have time to process much of the emotions, you know. I knew Reagan had volleyball. I knew I had to go do school shopping for Mariah, finally. Luckily I'd already done a little bit of other stuff for her, but there were still things that we needed, and so finally tonight we were able to go shopping. There was some really cute Halloween stuff. I didn't get any of that, but by the time we're done, God, this hip is just screaming. So we'll go over here and wait for Reagan, and then can chit chat, and I can actually chit chat once I park over there, because I've got probably at least 20 minutes till he's going to be done. And we had just got done with shopping, so I dropped off Mariah, and then I was just sitting in here and being sad. And so then I'm like, you know what, let's go ahead and do the live stream. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's don't break our streak of doing it every day. But I knew I knew hours ago I wasn't going to be able to do the pink shirt and the Menopause Monday, and I knew that if I was going to live stream, it wasn't going to be that. And that's unfortunate, because I'm really excited for all that, to do those kind of videos. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with those. And I wanted to stream with the stream the computer screen, like we figured out how to do, and read a couple of articles together. And anyway, I had a lot of stuff I wanted to do, but in the back of my mind, I knew it was unlikely, because we knew it was like, any minute that Grandma was gonna go. But then where it took a little longer than anticipated, it made it worse than if it just would have happened that day that we went to say goodbye. And why was it worse? Well, because then I knew she was in pain longer. And yeah, they had her on loads of medication and whatnot, but even when we were with her, you could see some of the agitation. So I knew she was in pain. And so that was hard, And then also you're just kind of in limbo, kind of waiting, because it's coming, but you don't know when. And so you're trying to go on and, live your life and get stuff ready for the kids to go to school, and for our anniversary trip, and YouTube and everything else, life, just real life. But you're just kind of, like I said, you're just kind of in limbo, because it's not done yet, You're waiting for it to be done, to start kind of moving forward in the grieving process and all of that. Sorry that the lighting is absolutely terrible. It'll be better once we get there. Then I can turn the light on. So I apologize for the lighting. It will get better. Bear with me. I'm driving. So just a place of limbo, and you keep yourself busy, and you don't want to jump into the grieving process too much yet, because why? I don't know, because that she's still lying there alive, and you're not there, to hold her hand. And so that just sucks. That just really sucks. Let me park somewhere here. Oh God. There we go. We're parked. We made it. And we've got about a half hour. That's not a whole lot better lighting, but it's something. Somewhat better, right? Hi Pamela. Hi Shatika. Hi Bonnie. I'll switch it to the subscribe now. Couldn't do it while I was driving, of course. Hold on. Pamela, my grandmother-in-law, whatever, she's my grandma, passed away this morning. Uh, okay, hold on. 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. Subscribers only. There we go. So I'm here now waiting for Reagan to finish volleyball. And I know it's supposed to be Menopause Monday. I knew this morning I was not going to be able to do that. But I wasn't sure if I would live stream or not. And then I had a conversation with myself and I said, Self, listen. I said, Self, we've been doing this live streaming every day. And we're going to keep doing it. So for consistency, and because we're dedicated to this, we're doing it. We're doing it. And because selfish reasons, I just need a little bit of support. You know, a little bit of support. So I knew I could get that from you guys. So here we are. Sorry I didn't give any announcement ahead of time. And that it's so late in the evening. Oh, thank you, Rita. Rita, I appreciate you so much. But I honestly all day was thinking about, you know, how I'm going to do this and when am I going to do this? And I really need to tell them something. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you so much. I know you are, and I appreciate it so much. But I kept thinking, when can I do it? Like I said, I knew we had to get Reagan to volleyball, and I knew we had to take Mariah school shopping, and, you know, along with 100 other things. And so I just wasn't sure when we were going to, you know, when I could do it. And then also went back and forth in my mind if I was going to do, you know, go ahead with the menopause topic and that kind of thing. And I decided hours ago I wasn't going to do that. So then I was like, well, you're not doing what you had committed to for Mondays. So, like, what are you going to do? You know? Thank you, Vicky. I know Vicky, and I appreciate you so much. So then I just wasn't sure. And then it finally hit me. Like I said, I had gone home after school shopping. And like I said, my hip is screaming at me. And I was like, you know, when you're in physical pain, everything else is worse. I know a lot of you know what I'm talking about. When you're in physical pain, everything else is heightened. So it's a strange thing. Something, in my opinion, with no education to it or professional experience to speak to it, just living in a, you know, burning down circus of a body. Hi, Kathy. I'm glad you can be here. But I think it's something to do with, you know, your brain is busy handling the pain, physical pain, you know what I mean? And so when Kathy, I've only been on for like 13 minutes. So when you've got like the emotions and all that going as well, I think it's something like, in my opinion, like your brain is using most of its power kind of dealing with like the nerves and the physical pain, you know what I mean? And so maybe it doesn't have as much left to deal with the emotional pain. That's my thought. And that's just me. That's my thought. Oh, Rita, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm excuse me, scheduled to get another treatment on my hips, on both hips. The right one is the worst though, but scheduled to get another treatment on I don't remember what day, but it's after we get back from our anniversary road trip, and we are cutting it short. It'll still be plenty of days, but not as long as we had originally planned. I had originally, Kathy, I'm waiting for Reagan to get out of volleyball. So I'm just here in the parking lot waiting for him. So we got a half hour that we can hang out. So anyway, so we had the trip that we originally had planned was like a week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks. Not now. We first cut it back because of we got the invitation to my niece's wedding, the the first grandkid on either my side or his side of the family to get married, and so so we had already canceled some reservations and cut some things back for that, just to kind of remap and drive times and everything. And then when we got the announcement, the message this morning that grandma had passed away early this morning, the message also said that the plan is to have her service on the 22nd. And so then now we're cutting the trip back more because obviously we're going to be here for that. But then that means, we have to kind of remap, figure out, because when it's a road trip, I mean, you gotta remap some things. You just gotta figure it out. So we'll work on that tomorrow, I guess. Luckily it was far enough out that there weren't any fees or anything for canceling what we had planned, later. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that very much. Very much. She was a wonderful, amazing woman. Amazing woman. I sat with Reagan, my son, this morning because he was the only other person awake when I got the message. And he's such a great comfort to me. He's such an amazing young man. God, he's a beautiful, wonderful young man. Snotty as me too. Stubborn as me too. But such a beautiful son. A good son to me. And we talked for an hour, telling him stories about his grandma and all the things that I loved about her and things that he hadn't known, and just, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Just mourning her and reminiscing and making sure that her story continues to be told, So a woman like that deserves to be remembered. So anyhow, so so then all day today I was just nonstop. And then finally, early afternoon, my body was like, that's it. So I took a nap for about an hour, and it was a wonderful nap. And then I got up and got going again because I just wasn't ready to deal with it yet, So I went to, my other coping device, which is just stay busy, get busy, stay busy. And I got a lot done. I got a hell of a lot done. Yeah. It's kind of like when you get like last minute notice that someone's coming to visit, and it's crazy how much you can get done, in an hour or a day or whatever, And that's kind of how it was, because my God, I got so much done. Yeah. There's more. There's always more. But I got a lot done. Which, of course, now I'm paying for a little bit with the hip. But there's also something there's something to that. It's one thing to just be in pain. And when you live with a chronic illness and a degenerative disease and stuff like that, I mean, if you're awake, you're in pain. Okay. But there's a difference between that pain that's just constant. It's just, you're just kind of living at like a 3 or a 4 always, right? But there's something else, something kind of beautiful, with an earned pain. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it's like an earned tired. So after a day of lots of work and lots of just getting shit done, not only is it nice to, just the results and to enjoy them and live with the cleanliness and the, having things orderly and having your towels clean and folded and put away and that kind of thing, of course. But it's also this, I don't know, and maybe it depends on how you're raised and what things were most important in your family, like what things were emphasized, whatever. And a huge one in my family was work ethic. Huge. The worst thing I could ever be called in my life is lazy. Don't ever call me lazy. Please, God, don't ever call me lazy. Scatterbrained, struggles to finish a project, but that's because I'm doing 75 projects at the same time. And so it's, it's kind of inefficient, but not lazy. God, no. And so there's something about, and especially when you do live with limitations and constantly in recovery from this thing or that thing and that, whatever, there's something really beautiful and fulfilling and just wonderful about being tired or in pain from exertion and accomplishment and being productive. There's something to it. I don't know. There is something to it. I'm going to turn this off. Hopefully we don't get too hot in here, but our air is bad enough here in Utah. I don't need to keep the car running. Make it that much worse. If it gets too hot, I'll crack the windows. But anyhow, there's something about it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you understand, but there is something beautiful about it. And so, yeah, I don't know. When you just fall into bed tired, a good tired, and especially after years of not being able, like not physically able to do all that. Now, if you're someone that's working every damn day, you're like, I don't get it. I don't know what she's talking about. But if you're someone who has been immobilized or severely limited off and on for years, and sometimes for stretches of months, then I think you might understand. And a lot is just perspective, life experience, different situations. Anyhow, for me, it was very comforting. Something good about it. But it hurts like hell. It hurts. And I cannot wait to get home and do something about it. Get some ice going. Oh, I will tell you, I did also do my physical therapy this morning and used the tennis ball on my tailbone and all the surrounding muscles, not on my hip. I can't use it on my hip. I have to just leave my hip alone because it's just shredded. It's just shredded. All the, the connective tissues and stuff on like my hip to my pelvis, they're just shredded. And that's what we're doing the regenerative treatments for, that we started last month. But I won't get to do that again until when we get back from our trip. So, but anyhow, I did do my physical therapy and used the tennis ball on my tailbone and then iced after, and it made a world of difference. It helps so much. It's not like I'm not done, but it absolutely made a difference. And now I just need to be consistent with it, Hi, Rhonda. Thanks for being here. Rhonda understands. Oh, I appreciate it. I really do. I was actually thinking about that, Kathy, of just doing a couple of looky-loos just for, distraction, just purely for distraction purposes. I was thinking about it. But with the way my hip is right now, I just can't do it. Um, it's bad. It's really bad. It's by the time we were done school shopping tonight, I could barely stand up. Yeah. No, it's awful. We're we're at a laughing 10 right now. Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad. It's real bad. And as much as it hurts, I am okay with it. Like, I mean, no, you don't want to be in pain. Nobody wants to. Well, I mean, I guess there's some people out there, and look, I don't want to judge you, but to each their own wacky, kinky thing. But at least if I'm going to be in pain, it was made this bad because I was getting shit done while avoiding my emotions in the red-blooded American way, you know? But anyway. Yeah. No, I can't, Kathy. I just can't. It's too much pain. It's just too damn much pain. And I have so much more that I got to get done tomorrow to get ready for our road trip. You know, turns out my mother-in-law is going to help loads and tons with the kids while we're gone, which is wonderful. It makes me feel so much better. You know, I believe in my kids. I trust my kids, and they are teenagers, and Olivia's an adult and all that. But it is wonderful, you know. It is wonderful to have a more seasoned, loving adult to keep an eye on them. Not babysit them. Don't say that to them. They don't want to hear that, right? Not my teenagers. But to keep an eye and to make sure they're all right and make sure they're doing good and make sure they have what they need and getting to school and, you know, that kind of stuff. So I have a wonderful mother-in-law. I do. I have an amazing mother-in-law. We had to build our relationship, and we had our struggles, especially in the early years. We absolutely did. But in the realm of possibilities of our mother-in-law relationship, I did pretty dang good. I did all right. Yeah. I've heard the horror stories. Sorry, we're just changing topics here, but I was just thinking about so many of the people I'm grateful for in my life and how we get so caught up in our day-to-day and whatever we have going on. And we just don't spend enough time with the people that we love, you know? But anyhow, I did get really lucky. I watch Charlotte Dobre here on YouTube, and she'll read these like marriage horror stories and mother-in-law horror stories and you know, stuff like that. And my God, some of the stuff's wacky. Some of it even a little bit scary. These ones I was sorry, we're just all over the place tonight, guys. But hey, we're here and we're doing it. We are continuing the streak. We're still live streaming. But these crazy stories of mothers-in-law showing up in white dresses to the wedding. Some of them in whole-ass wedding dresses. Legit wedding dresses. That's weird. That's really weird. I don't understand that. I don't get it at all. That is so weird. I don't know what kind of woman you gotta be, you know, to like show up to your son's wedding trying to look like the bride. I mean, you know? Of course you love your son. Of course you adore your son. There's nothing like a mother and son relationship. It's a beautiful thing. Absolutely precious. Priceless. But, you know? I've told my son 100 million times, when you grow up and you get married, I know this is going to be really hard to get right now, just as a teenager that adores his mother, but that woman, make sure you know her well and good, because I'm going to demand that you choose her over me. I don't want you to let her isolate you from us or keep you from your family. I'm not saying give in to that, because that's not cute either. But I told him, you will choose her over me. You will choose her over me. And I believe that, and I mean it. Again, with the caveat, unless she's some lunatic bitch that's trying to keep him from his family. You know, that kind of thing. I've seen that with other people. Weird. But I told him, she has to be always your number one choice. Always. She has to be. Doesn't mean you don't love your mother. Doesn't mean you don't spend time with your mama and do things for your mom here and there. But your wife's needs come first. Always. Your wife's needs come first. Now, if I'm on my deathbed, I wouldn't mind if he'd come and be with me. You know what I mean? But I think you get what I'm saying. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people don't get that and don't give that to their son. And don't give that to their daughter-in-law. And it's weird. It's very weird. Renee, there you are. Hello, my darling. You guys just barely had your baby boy? Jesus God. Oh, congratulations. Felicidades, bendiciones. I'm so happy for you. Oh, what a wonderful, beautiful, beautiful gift. I'm so happy for you. I hope everything went well, that mom and baby are healthy and doing great. That's so wonderful. I'm so happy for you. Yeah, it is a beautiful thing having a son. Having daughters too, beautiful thing. But it's interesting to me, especially now that the kids are much older and all of those things. It's really neat to see the difference in the relationships. What I have with my daughters versus what I have with my son. They're different relationships. They're all beautiful, and I'm so grateful. And not one is more important than any other, but they're different. And it's really neat. It's beautiful. 9 pounds and 2 ounces. That's fantastic. All right, Renee, I gotta tell you something. Now I know I'm all of 5'2.5" now. I lost an inch. Lost an inch. Well, that's arthritis for you. But check this out. When I was born, all them 44 years ago, when I was born, I was 21 inches long, and get ready. Get ready for this. Prepare yourself. And then honor my mama. I know, I tell you, we have a difficult relationship and things are, they are what they are, and we do the best we can. And we love each other. We love each other dearly. But we struggle, But just the fact that she put up with birthing this thing out, here we go. Get ready. 9 pounds, 7 ounces. And I was by far not the biggest baby. She only had one of the 8 kids that was under 9 pounds. And that was my oldest brother. After that, no, we were ginormous. Ginormous. Yeah. The biggest was my baby brother Javier. 10 pounds, 11 ounces. If there is a heaven in the sky, regardless of any other failings and flaws that my darling mother might have, just for that alone, she better get into heaven. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, right? Right? Yeah. Huge babies. And that comes from my dad, his side of the family, which is really funny because for the most part, they're not big people, you know, short, beautiful Mexican people. And I mean, all of my tias, rest in peace, well, except my tia Pachita, she's still with us, but they all make me look tall. You know what I'm saying? So just for whatever reason, ginormous babies with very little height potential. Yeah. Oh, I hope their parents are watching them. Got these kids standing up on the window sills of their car, leaning against the car. Hope that baby boy don't fall. He's not a baby, he's like 4. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, you get back in there, son. Get back in there. Get back in. When he falls and cracks his head, oh, God. Here's what it is. Now, oh, I know, Rhonda. I know, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that woman. Just for birthing us ginormous babies. My God. Luckily, I didn't get the ginormous babies because in my husband's family, the babies are teeny tiny. And so there was a lovely halfway when it came to our babies. You had the ginormous family or ginormous babies from my family and the teeny tiny, crazy tiny from his side. And so in the middle is where we landed. And Reagan was my biggest baby, and he was 7 pounds, 3 ounces. And then the girls, let's see, Lulu was 6 pounds, 3 ounces, I believe. And then Mariah was like 6 pounds, 10 ounces, something like that. So hallelujah, you know, that my babies were so much smaller. And it ended up being a good thing because my like pelvis and birth canal and all that nonsense was not built for bigger babies. It just wasn't built for bigger babies. So that worked out all right. God, you guys are wonderful. And I know I'll have me a good full-on fall apart later. And I'm okay with that. That's all right. And it won't be the only one. I know there'll be more. And that's all right. That's okay. But I'm feeling a lot better than I was. Even if you can believe it, the pain in my hip has eased up a bit. Now, it helps that I'm not, you know, walking around in the store shopping with Mariah anymore, because that was painful. It helps to just be sitting and resting. But just being here with you guys, laughing, joking, talking about nonsense, it helps. Helps a lot. So thank you. I knew. That's what was my brain telling me. Just go ahead, Lola. That's a lot of my family thing. Anyway, we have nicknames. Most of us don't call each other by our real names. But, you know, come on, Lola. Just go ahead and just do it. You know you need it. And not just for the consistency and because I've, you know, promised this to myself and made this commitment of daily live streaming, but, you know, that's part of it, sure. But also just for the comfort, the fellowship, you know what I mean? Just this, you know, just silly, laughing about stuff. Just, yeah. 10-pound babies. God. Yeah. You guys are so great. You're so great. Oh, Renee, that's what a beautiful, Jesus. Oh, look, oh man, that was giving us good light there for a minute. That was really good light. Dang it. Oh, well, that's okay. But that's a beautiful compliment, Renee. I sure hope so. I have lots of plans for being a grandma. I have a lot of plans. Because I know I'm not going to be able to do some of the things that, you know, my mom has been able to do and my mother-in-law's been able to do. I know that's not going to be my reality as the disease progresses and, you know, that kind of thing. There's stuff I'm not going to be able to do that I would like to be able to do. And that would be really helpful for them. You know what I mean? And I've had to accept that that's not the grandma that I get to be or that they get to have. But we're going to have a hell of a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. And we are going to do stuff. And when we're together, we're going to be together. And we're going to enjoy each other. And absolutely, we're going to Disney. Their parents want to come? Great, that's fine. But that's something I hope is that anyone that my kids marry, that they'll be cool with that. You know? Well, my Lord in heaven, there's Cynthia. Miss Diving with Purpose. Hello, my darling. Oh, thank you so much for being here. Oh, I'm so glad to have you here. I sure appreciate you being here. But yeah, hopefully their spouses will be cool with that. You know, grandma wants to take the kids to Disney. Not when they're like babies or anything. I ain't doing that. That's lunacy. You know, but when they're a little older. And yeah, if moms and dads want to come along, that's fine too. No, I think that'd be so much fun. I really do. Oh, Kathy, I'm glad this gives you something to do before bed. That's fantastic. Rita, you were a small baby? Yeah, I'm so grateful mine were little. You know, especially compared to, you know, the ones in my family. Good God. Yeah, Bonnie, that's how my girls were. Yeah, nice and little. And even so, Mariah still got stuck. Yeah, so, yeah. Pamela, you watch Charlotte Dobray? Isn't she fun? I enjoy her. She's a fruitcake. Yeah, I like a lot of things about her. You know, one of the things that I really love about her, she's a YouTube creator, for those that don't know, Charlotte Dobray. Huge channel. But just a lovely person. And something that she started doing lately, and I don't know if it was on purpose or they changed lighting or I don't know, different camera. I have no idea. But she doesn't use filters. And it used to be she had enough lighting that she didn't need a filter. She, you know, the lighting can do amazing things. Lighting can do amazing things. But for whatever reason, lately in her videos, like you can see all the texture of her skin and she's not like old and wrinkly, you know, but she's in her 30s. And so, you know, wrinkles have started happening as they do. And she doesn't hide it. No filters. None of that nonsense or editing in post or what have you. None of that. She just, you see her real face. And I have really appreciated that. We have so much of the fake, you know. And now, like I was telling you guys whenever I was telling you that Vogue magazine is using like AI models. What the hell is that? Like as if expectations and all that weren't already ridiculous and unachievable. Now they're not even human. So like, anyway, wacky stuff. But, so yeah, I thought that was really neat. And I don't know if she'll keep doing it that way. Hey baby, how you doing? Yeah. There's my boy. I don't know if she will keep it that way with the lack of filters and whatnot. I don't know. It's up to her. But it really, yeah, I really appreciated it. It's just really neat. How'd it go?
Good.
Good? Awesome. Oh, Michelle's in here? Hey there, Michelle. Sorry, I'm just scrolling back in the comments before we get on the road, because then I'm not going to be able to read any comments. But anyway, Michelle, glad you can be here. Kathy, go have your cheese sandwich. Just do it. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to get to the dumpsters. It's going to happen. It's going to be soon. For one thing, this is still the only car. So, it's tricky. For another thing, I'm finishing up the shed. You know, at least getting it much further than it currently is. But don't worry. The looky-loos are going to happen. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. But we got to get on the road, get this boy home. And then I got some plans with my girls. Hold on.
You have to
the thing. I know, but I don't want to. Oh, okay.
I'm not going to break it.
All right. No, I just meant because they're watching, and I didn't want them to, Sorry, had to slap the phone into the whatever, the little thing that holds it. But anyhow, yeah. Maybe I will just go ahead and let you guys go right now. You know what? I think I'm going to. I think I will. And then I can, this way I can talk to Reagan and hear all about volleyball and all that kind of stuff, He and I don't get to just, hang out a whole heck of a lot, the way I'd like. And so I've got him here in the car. He can't get away from me. Joking. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. And then when we get home, I am going to get me that whiskey. You better believe it. And then the girls and I are going to watch some Apothecary Diaries. Yeah, such a good show. It's an anime, and I just freaking love it. It's so good. But you guys are so wonderful, and thank you for the comfort and the support. And as we, go through the grief process, you guys know that's gonna take time. And then especially where the funeral isn't for a couple weeks, and then, you kind of go through it all again, and, all of that. But I'm going to keep the live streaming. We're just going to keep doing it. We're going to keep doing it every day, because as hard as it was to get on and do it, now, God, I'm so glad we did. And I feel great. And I knew it. I knew that's what would happen. I knew you guys would be medicine for me. I knew it. Anyway, so I appreciate it so much. I really do. Truly. All right. Well, I will see you guys tomorrow. I don't know when. Silly. Did you guys hear all that? I don't know if you heard that, but anyway, people are loony. But anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I will try my best. I promise I will try. I promise I'll try. That's a good promise to make. To go ahead and let you know ahead of time when it's going to be. I'll do my best. But anyhow, I'm thinking definitely a daytime live stream of some kind. How's that sound? Does that sound good? Anyway, you have a good night too. I appreciate you. Love and good wishes and happy thoughts and all that kind of stuff, all right? We even almost made it to an hour. How about that? All right. Be safe. Be well. Hug the people that you love, okay? All right. Bye-bye.